te iwi.
The undisputed
This week, Dan Hooker's back saying, well, Dan Hooker things.
There's two things you don't take to the bank, and that's a woman you meet at a strip club and a good chin. Because
Before we hit the ground in Vegas, we look at Kai Kara France's long journey to the title.
Once I get past Cody, take out a former champ, I won a title shot afterwards.
But first, check out all the drama from Usman versus Buckley. Get ready for UFC on Sky.
A storm comes through the South in the form of the Nigerian Nightmares return and new monsters rise. Big names and high stakes in that headliner comes to you from Georgia for UFC Fight Night Usman versus Buckley.
We're at the arena right now. We're running a little late, we're running a little behind, but you know, they're gonna check us in nice and right. It's crazy, hey, but we outside.
Pilato was out because then he woke up and he scrambled with urgency back to the fence.
This bout has been ruled a no contest.
Is covered up. So there's the knee and it comes down and then so yeah, I didn't think head clash.
Unanimous decision.
Keep mixing it up. You can smell a finish right now. He's on his game. Takedown. Nice job. Through with the trip. She's a little high. They're out of danger. Good job there. She'll go to work. And then she tries to take it back. That was close. It's going to a third and final round after this. She's on the back foot this way. Nice. Ramayuna's connected on something. Maverick's down. This is what Buckley hasn't felt, his timing and grappling like this. It's real. The timing was perfect. That was not a hard takedown for him so far. Nice elbows over the top here from Usman. But Usman making a statement early. Good job using lateral movement, using his footwork to get everywhere. Wow, what a shot. Way out, too. It was just a fast shot. But now, again, he's got to defend this takedown. And he can't. He's punching on a single leg rather than defending the single leg, and that will never work at this level. Nice. Once he gets his air back, he'll explode. There it is. That was the first real single leg, high crop or double leg adjustment. Beautiful double transition. There you go for Buckley. Good defense there. Now he's made the adjustments on the so far. In the fifth round, he made the adjustments. Let's see if he can do it in the rest of his fights. Now he's on the double again. Good defense on the Wizard. Another one. 30 seconds left. The straight left gets through for Buckley, and now four-punch combination. Oh! He hits left hook that time. Buckley is forever dangerous on the feet. Buckley can't be too patient here. And there's the final horror. Buckley landed one right at the end.
Week of UFC on Sky, Koravinda Hunia Tōku Ingoa. Joining me this week, Dan Hooker. Looking a little blonder there, bro. Welcome back.
a little bit blonde, eh? Got a touch up.
Change the look up. Yep.
I did. I'm not fired, by the way. Thanks for everyone asking.
No, never assumed. Never assumed. We were just waiting till, you're ready to come back in your own time.
In my own time.
And you know what? What a time to come back
It sure is. Before I fly off to Vegas.
Before you fly off to Vegas, Kai Kara-France obviously fighting at UFC 317. We have been building up this fight. We've been talking about this fight, I feel like, since Perth, about this build-up with him and Alexandre Pantoja. But this is our last show on the ground before we head over to Vegas, and we stalk Kai in Vegas as he prepares for this.
We stalk Kai.
Well, I stalk him. You get to enjoy it a little bit more. But you're in the gym with him. He's getting ready, getting prepared, winding down to this big moment. How has he been going?
Oh, I wouldn't say winding down.
Winding up, yeah.
You just got him training 17 hours a day. No, but he's looking incredible. It's sharp. And it's a funny thing about this fight. There's no real secret to it. Kai obviously wants to keep it on the feet and be looking for that cannon of a right hand he has. We have highlights on highlights on highlights of Kai dropping and knocking guys out. It's just probably the most dangerous of anyone's weapon in the whole flyweight division. So he'll be looking to land that right hand. And Pantoja, he's good at what he does. He likes to single leg, get that back, ride his opponent, wear them out, take them, and he's obviously pretty much the best in the division at holding a guy's back and looking at that submission from that back. So very dangerous, but very straightforward fight. You know what I mean? And in terms of style-wise, Pantoja does take some shots on the feet. He is hittable. He does have a good chin. But you can't take, there's two things you don't take to the bank, and that's a woman you meet at a strip club and a good chin, because you cannot.
Life advice.
Life advice. You can't take it to the bank. Obviously, if Kai's right hand connects, that's what he'll be looking for. He'll be looking to keep his distance on the feet. Pantoja will be looking for Kai to get heavy on that front leg, look for the single leg, and then if we obviously see him riding Kai's back, that's where we don't want to be. Yeah. So very, very straightforward fight.
Well, Pantoja came out in an interview overnight saying that he feels that facing Kai Kara-France is like facing the Mike Tyson of the division. What are your thoughts on that?
That's
a big call.
Well, that's credit where credit's due. No one else's highlight at flyweight looks like Kai Kara-France does. You know, a lot of these guys, Pantoja himself, he's got incredible jiu-jitsu, he's got incredible submissions on his resume, but there's not another fighter that has a highlight quite like. The Mike Tyson of Mike Tyson of the flyweight.
Mike Tyson of the flyweights, and looking at Alexandre Pantoja, he has fought for this title 3 times at T-Mobile Arena, has been successful in that. What does that count for in terms of confidence and knowing the environment up in these big fights?
Yeah, I guess that's a bit more playing in the background is obviously activity. Pantoja's been a lot more active. He's been on a lot more main events. He's been on some huge title fights. Kai's last fight was when I last fought, was Steve Erceg in Perth a while ago, and that was only a half a round. So in terms of time in the octagon, but then that's like a double-edged sword. That's kind of thing we're going to have to see just how it plays out, because obviously Kai has a lot less miles, so he's been able to do this 4 or 5 month training camp to prepare for this singular one moment. Whereas Pantoja's been putting a lot of 5-round training camps, a lot of 5-round fights back to back to back, which obviously take a lot of toll on your body, and you can't keep it up forever. No one can continually put 5-round title fights back to back to back and keep their body fresh.
So Dan, you mentioned, one of Kai Kara-France's past opponents, Steve Erceg, who was his last fight in Perth. He won that fight by knockout. But this is his little CV here that we've just jotted up of, his last 5 opponents. Not all wins, but, it paints the story of this journey that he's had of wanting to tackle this title fight for a little.
It looks like a poo sandwich, because it's like knockout, and then split decision, loss.
True. Controversial. Amir Al-Bazi.
Something I couldn't unsee. Thought I'd share that with everyone at home.
Yes, it's an interesting CV. But when we think about Kai Kara-France's journey, yes, we think about the opponents. Yes, we think about, the wins and the losses and all these sorts of things. But what are your thoughts on the way he has approached this fight in particular? We know that he is, digging deep into his taha Māori and getting that, that psychological thing running in a positive way, as well as what he's going to bring into the octagon. So your thoughts on that approach, because is this a kind of an approach that you have to work on in terms of the the psyche moving into a title fight?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and I feel like it's just that there needs to be in a fight and especially at the highest level, where you're trying to be the absolute best top fighter in the world, there's an element of faith, which you can't have. And it might have been the one element that was missing in Kai's whole game. A lot of other fighters, you can see Charles Oliveira finds it in God.
O campeão tem nome, se chama Charles do Bronx. Pode bater, bate, filha, homem aqui aguenta, rapaz. Nós é iluminado, rapaz.
And a lot of other fighters find it in their own God or Buddha or whatever. They find it in their religion because you can dot all your I's, you can cross all your T's. But when you're stepping in there needs to be an element of faith where you just have you can trust in a higher power is going to save you and bring you through. Kai's been able to find that in his heritage, and he's got that element of faith in his tupuna. So it might have been the final missing link and final missing piece that Kai needed to find to kind of find success at the highest level.
Yeah, to really click in. In that interview of Pantoja, he spoke about, 9 years ago, Kai wasn't a dad. He wasn't married back then, obviously. And now he's a very different, not just a fighter, but a human being to the one that he faced 9 years ago. And he says this makes him dangerous as well.
Oh yeah, so it's doing it for a purpose greater than yourself. Finding that real maturity as a man. Like he's step by step just added layers to his game. Like he obviously was always very talented, always very dangerous, but now he's doing it for a higher purpose, and then he also has that element of faith. So I feel like he's found all the pieces.
It's all come together.
I love it when a plan comes
No pressure.
together. No pressure.
No pressure at all. But look, UFC 317, obviously, we're headed over there. We're going to watch Kai Kara-France in action. T-Mobile Arena, fight capital of the world. But you're heading over as well. You, Israel Adesanya, Alexander Volkanovski. So there's a few people going over there.
We probably won't make the fight. No,
I'll just keep it professional. They're watching, okay? But talk to us about your guys' trip going over there. We saw your names on a list of, on official UFC duty. So what is it that you guys get up to when you get over there?
Oh, I don't know yet. But there's a bit. So it's obviously, this is why this is one of the biggest cards of the year.
Yeah.
Kai's over there, so obviously the team's going to fly over and support. Alex is there, Carlos is there, Israel is there, I'll be there, and it's International Fight Week, so there's obviously a big expo in town for the UFC, so there's a lot of stuff on for the fans, and then they're flying me over to get my 50 clean drug test jacket. I get my little.
You made it.
I made it.
Cracked it.
I made it, baby. I can retire in peace now.
With a clean record. Is there anything else you get with that, or is it just the jacket and a little photo?
It's just a jacket and a little good job.
Keep it up, mate. Little Getty image.
Keep it up, champ.
32 years young now. It's now my time to get it done and take this 15-year career that I've had, something that I haven't done yet, is to become a world champion. So.
Now, my next guest today is a man trying his hardest to climb up the flyweight division and will also be featuring on UFC 259. Kai Kara-France joins me as well from Las Vegas. Kia ora e hoa.
I've been in these big pressure fights before, and the best thing is not to put too much pressure on yourself and just go in there and have fun. There's work that I've been doing with David Neath, my sports psychologist. Stepping into my alter ego, not just being my Kai, who's a son, who's a brother, who's a father, but being the Superman version of myself, and that Superman version can't be touched. So
UFC flyweight Kai Kara-France will be up against the biggest challenge to date when he goes into UFC 269 against Cody No Love Garbrandt.
Yeah, I see this as a title eliminator. Once I get past Cody, take out a former champ, I want a title shot afterwards. I said that I wanted a title shot. I said, well, sorry, we're not going to give you that. I feel like they're going to give it to the number one contender, who was the second guy, which is Alexandre Pantoja. I said, well, let's give me the number one contender fight. So the Russian, Askar Askarov, was the number one contender. People already counted me out for this fight. No doubt me, that's what fuels my fight.
I'll ask you first, how does it feel to be called the number 2 flyweight in the UFC?
we're here now. Just took out a guy that's never lost, took his O. So took his spot as well, number 2 in the world, and we're just talking titles now, so exciting place to be, and there's no excuse not to give me the next title shot. So that's where we're at right now. There's only Moreno in front of me, and he's already had his shot.
Does it feel a little different this time, preparing for a title fight?
It's one of those things where I've always been the hardest worker in the group, even though, at this highest level, you got to be doing everything. I feel like I'm going above and beyond. Now we've got a 3rd world title that we could be bringing back to New Zealand, and we've just been just putting the head down and just quietly just working, and here we are now, a few days out, about to fly out to Dallas, and then it's my fight week. I've got my own belt to bring home, and I can't wait. I'm more than ready for this.
This man has all the ability to become a world champion. Kai France has a chance tonight to really make history.
Kai, you're going to be headlining your first UFC event. Start off by telling us what's the feel like, on the Whenua in Las Vegas this week.
To be headlining, it's a massive milestone. I'm exactly where I need to be and want to be, and that's fighting the best guys. That's headlining cards, more people, more attention. But I welcome it. I want to be here. I want to be doing this, and want to be getting back on track and fighting for world titles.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, by split decision, Amir!
UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas at the weekend has left many people scratching their heads over the judge's decision to award Amir Albazi the split decision win over New Zealand flyweight Kai Kara France.
Yeah, I was a little bit dumbfounded, like a lot of people were, obviously.
Personally, I think Kai Kara France won that battle.
This is sport. At the highest level, it's a game of inches, and I know I've said that before, but I was feeling confident when they were calling the announcement. But hey, hats off to Amir. I'm not gonna be one to dwell on it.
Who would be your ideal matchup for Perth?
To get to the title, you want to fight the guys that just fought for the title, and that's the pathway. So yeah, if he wants to get it, D Versick, let's settle it in Perth, and let's do it for the Anzacs. Yeah, I welcome this weekend, and I'm in a great place, and I can't wait to get in there and just get it done.
First round knockout for this man.
It's a tough road being a fighter, but we do it because we love it. Yeah, we'll take time away, but then we'll get back to work. I want to have an active year this year, and mahi to mahi. There's work to be done.
Mahi to mahi, and we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome, thank you.
That's funny when he say the guys put a wrong Kai to fight. I fight with the Kai Kara France in the ultimate fight. That's a very different situation, everybody in the house is a champion, a lot of pressure on that moment. But I think it's not the time for Kai Kara France. I hope I'm the guy to fight with him. I hope they hold this belt to have the opportunity to fight with the Kai Kara France.
Well, breaking news, UFC flyweight Kai Kara France getting his title shot. He has been waiting for so long to have this announcement. It is finally here, and he joins us now. Kia ora, Kai, welcome back to the show.
I'm excited and ready to just put all my 15 years of work all into practice and go bring another belt back to Aotearoa, New Zealand. The guy that I want to test myself against is someone I've shared the octagon with already, Pantoja. Fought each other 8-9 years ago in the Ultimate Fighter. So lots happened. He's become champ. And now become one of the main guys in the flyweight division. It's allowed me to mature as a person, as a man, and as well as an athlete. And just have a lot more to prove now, and just really believing in it. Coming back from losses, coming back from speed bumps, I've had to pick myself up, dust myself back off and keep going. I'm going to be the first guy to knock out Pantoja in the UFC and to bring another belt back to CKB. And yeah, that's how I see it happen.